Okay. Well, we have Florida International Week here. It's good to be home again. We've now been on one road trip in 460 some days, and that wore me out. That was one too many. I kind of like playing in Diddle Arena, and so we're glad to be back in Diddle, playing a Florida International team that, is not indicative of their record to this point. They've played the tougher part of the Conference USA schedule early, and they're a team that runs really hot and cold, and they have stretches where they're scary good and stretches where they really struggle. And so, we'll have to be ready to play, and we're looking forward to being back in Diddle.
Coach Jared with the Daily News here. Listening to you on that new TV show, Talking Tops, it sounds like, 1 week you're happy with the offense, 1 week the defense, but it hasn't really been, a complete game that you're happy with. What's it going to take to try to do that, this weekend and maybe get in a flow with, the regular season now starting to wind down?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel really about our team right now. I'm a little frustrated with that inconsistency. Offensively, again, we've been one of the elite teams in the country, but we haven't been at our best in the last week or two. But we go to Marshall and dig 20, 22, 23 balls a game and really lean heavily on our defense to find a way to beat a really good Marshall team on the road twice in back-to-back days. And so, I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to feel really good about that. I definitely feel good about how we defended up there, that facet of our game. But it would be nice. Maybe we're waiting till just the right time to put them all out there at the same time. And, because we're going to be awfully good when we do that. And until then, we'll just keep, putting out, I told our team, it's like putting out fires right now. It's like we, fix this and get a little better at it, and then something else pops up. And a lot of that has to do, to be honest, I try to put a lot of this on my shoulders from a week to week standpoint, but that's one of those things where our players need to do a better job of when we get something fixed and when we get in a rhythm doing something, being focused in on making sure that they're accountable to do that, every time they go to the court, because that's the only way we're going to truly move forward.
Coach Hunter Smith with WKU. Do you feel like, with Florida International's record, you have to maybe re-emphasize keeping your team locked in mentally, or do you think they're ready to go regardless of their record?
Yeah, well, I think we'll be ready to go because all year we haven't focused on anything other than trying to be better than we were the week before. Like, our opponent has been almost irrelevant in that regard, and we've tried to just look at who we were last week and where we can be better and try to improve on those things. And, as I said earlier, Florida International's record is not indicative of who they are. I don't think you can take a 6-game sample size and know who somebody is for sure. And so, we'll make sure our team sees that on film. We'll see the scary side of them. We'll see the capable side of them, and try to prepare for that team and know that if we're ready for that team, then things will probably work out pretty well.
Hi, Coach. It's Cassidy from the Herald. So there were some tougher starts in these past matches. So, what aspects have you seen the team change or improve on to continue to dominate in these upcoming matches?
Well, I was really, really proud of our team in that last Marshall match. We dropped that first set, and I guess it's just the beast that we've built around here. But we dropped set 1 against Marshall, and literally my wife started getting texts from people asking what was wrong with us today because we dropped a set. And I don't know how fair that is. I mean, there's a reason why we play 3 out of 5 sets, because there's some room in there to make adjustments and get better. And Marshall had a whole lot to do with that first set. They were really, really good. And I like to look past that first set. We were in an environment where the opponent was playing really well. The opponent was playing with a ton of energy and, just took set 1 off of a top 25 team. And then, we come back and, I say this about our team all the time. This team does not get rattled. And, we come back. If you look at the rest of that match, it was a 18-16-9 match in a match where everything was going the other way at the beginning. And I think that speaks a lot to the confidence and character that we have on our sideline.
Coach, kind of going off of that, like you said, you guys responded really well and hold them to 9 points in that 4th set. Only the first set that you've dropped in Conference USA play, second all season. It doesn't really feel like your back has ever really, been up against the wall, even though there's been some, close sets here and there. Is that a concern? It sounds like a crazy question. Is that a concern that you guys are being so dominant in these matches?
Jared, it absolutely is a concern. That's one of the reasons why we played the non-conference schedule we play on a normal year, is to be exposed and to be put to the test. And I think that's what allows us to be so hardened and ready when conference play starts, because there's not much we haven't seen. And in this COVID year where we weren't able to control a non-conference schedule, we didn't get put to the test like that. And so, I also talked to our team after that match about how, as uptight as our fan base got that we dropped a set, I told our team I was really, really glad to be in that situation, because we need to be in that situation. And, and we're going to be in that situation, as we move forward. But sure, yeah, it's a concern. It's a concern that we haven't been in a lot of 4 and 5 game matches and really tight sets and stuff like that. I lean on the fact that I think our team is a pretty confident veteran group, but there's nothing like being in the fire in the middle of that thing. And it's coming, whether it comes this weekend or against the number 4 team in the Big 12 in West Virginia next week. Like, that stuff's looming and we know it's coming. And, there's only, the only other option is to allow ourselves to be in 4 and 5 game matches. And I don't like that option any better. So we'll just deal with that time when it comes and keep trying to be better and trust that our players will be ready when we're in that moment. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, we'll be right back with student athletes. All right, we'll get going with Nadia Junet. Go ahead with questions when you're ready.
Hey, Nadia, this is Jared with the Daily News. Heading into this weekend, heading back to Diddle Arena to face FIU, I guess, what do you know about them at this point, and what's it going to take to try to have a complete performance?
Not much yet. I think we're going to watch and do some more strategy work today probably, but I just know it's another team that's going to probably give us their best, so we just got to be ready for that.
Hey, Nadia, this is Hunter Smith of WBKU. FIU, I think they're last in the Conference USA East. How much do you guys have to really lock in mentally to make sure they don't almost sneak up on you?
Probably a lot more than you would think. Like Travis said, their performance isn't really indicative of the team they are. Every program has a good team if they're competing at this level. So just going in ready is what we're going to do. And we just always have to play our best no matter what.
Hi, Nadia. This is Cassidy from the Herald. So you're one of 30 student athletes that were named a candidate for the Women's Volleyball Senior Class Award, and one of only 3 in the conference. So just what are the general feelings once you were notified of that? How are you feeling?
I was very, very happy. I think it's awesome. Being a student athlete is obviously a really big deal, but there's so much that a lot of us do outside of just what you see in the gym. And it was just really a reminder to me that these past 4 years that both Xavier and Western Kentucky have really been a lot for me in terms of building my character and in terms of what's next for me in my future. So I'm really excited about it and just really grateful.
We talk a lot about, Lauren and Paige, and rightfully so. Avery Davis is coming off a career best 10 kills. This past weekend, especially that second match, I guess, what did you see from her that made her as good as she was in that match?
Yeah, you don't really, you think of the names you hear a lot. It's probably Paige or Lauren, but, there's a lot of girls on the team that really deserve just as much recognition. Avery's been awesome. Besides last game too, she probably is one of the best at playing her role in the team. She's always really consistent. She takes care of the ball very well, and she's just really I don't know. You can really feel her presence out there. I feel better when she's up there. I can give her a ball and know she can really take care of it. So really good for me and the team.
Nadia, Jared asked this question to Coach earlier, but you guys really haven't been in the situation with your backs up against the wall. How much of a concern is that? kind of going forward as the season winds down? And then how much do you guys really lean on that senior leadership or veteran leadership?
Yeah, it is weird, especially knowing we're gonna play West Virginia next week, which we're all very excited for. Whenever we hear, big name schools, we're all very ultra competitive and ready for those. But you know, um, it's interesting that we haven't really played someone who hasn't given us, a run for our money yet. But what we do see a lot is teams like Marshall this last weekend playing, extremely well. And honestly, I feel like those games that you are on paper supposed to win, might be harder than the ones than you aren't. And so, although they can really prepare you, the really big name schools, I think every game is worth something. So.
Hey Nadia, this is Cassidy again. So, 11 matches into the season, and you've been named 4 times the CUSA Setter of the Week. So, what parts of your playing style do you believe is like kind of putting you above other student athletes that could have been considered for this honors?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I think honestly that our team's just awesome. It's really easy. They make my job very easy. Just putting the ball up there. They take great care of it. Very low error and high hitting percentage. Therefore, it just looks really good on me. But it's really a team effort. It's just 3 contacts all put together, and I really can't do my job if it isn't for our passers working as hard as they do. So obviously, extremely grateful, but it's really just a team effort.
Anything else for Nadia?
Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia.
That's not it.
And we have Paige Briggs to close us out. Go ahead with questions when you're ready.
Hey, Paige. This is Jared with the Daily News here in Bowling Green. You guys are heading back home for more matches at Diddle FIU this week, I guess. Nadia just said you're probably going to jump more into the scout, today. But I guess at this point, what do you know about them, and what's it going to take to try to have a complete performance?
Just from playing them last year, I know they have a really good beach program and they're very scrappy, and we're gonna dive in it today and we'll probably watch film and stuff. But I think they're just gonna be like a scrappy team that are gonna be really fun to play.
Hey Paige, it's Cassidy from the Herald. So, you've been named CUSA Offensive Player of the Week twice now. So, what do you believe in your playing style is putting you up above these other student athletes in order to be named this award?
I don't know if it's my own. I think it's more our team. Like, awards come from team success, and just it takes 3 touches for everyone to like play well. So, yeah, I would just say it's more our whole team. Just they help me and I help them. So yeah.
Paige, this is Hunter Smith from WBKO. FIU coming in. I think they've only won 1 game this year, but how much do you guys have to like really lock in mentally to make sure they don't sneak up on y'all?
Yeah, these are kind of the nerve-wracking games because you have to show up mentally prepared all the time, and like we have West Virginia coming up, and that's just you get excited because that's a big name, but you have to mentally get prepared every single day, and like that's kind of our motto every single day. So just working hard and sticking with your team that whole time.
Hey, Paige, this is Jared again. Coach, when we had him a couple weeks ago, and he said you've been working on your serve, and that's been a big focus for the team as a whole. But working on that jump serve, how do you feel like it's coming along, and where do you think you're at with that?
There's definitely good games and bad games. There's always so much more work I can put in, but yeah, I feel a good place. I'm definitely not Sophia. So, but yeah, I'm still working.
Hey Paige, it's Cassie again. So, like Jared said, you've been improving on your serving and stuff. So other than that, what have you personally been seeing yourself improve on, specifically regarding like after these past couple tough starts of these matches?
A little bit of the mental game for me, just with tough starts and stuff, but just trying to stick with my teammates when we're playing. And at the end of the day, it's volleyball, and it's not just, you can just go play, and that's why we do this. It's fun.
Jumping back to the serve, I know you mentioned Sophia there. I believe you were a freshman when she was a senior last season. I guess, what did you learn or take away from her, or what can you compare, with your serve to her serve and things like that?
I learned a lot from Soph. She was just like aggressive when she was serving, and she just found it to be so much fun. So I just try to take that from her. And definitely the left-handed, right-hand thing is different. I remember having to pass in practice, and it was just so difficult. So